Everybody. Hey, everybody. So we are still in the Armor of God by Priscilla Shirer. We are in week 4, day 4, which is called Go Shoes. Let's get on our shoes. So she said spiritual warfare calls for shoes that are appropriate for the occasion. But oftentimes we get so caught up in what we want to wear, we're not thinking about the shoes that we need to wear. She says having your feet fitted with peace that the gospel brings, that spiritual utilizes us to guide us onward, to make you ready for anything the enemy tries to send your way. We got to be ready, y'all. Y'all ain't ready. We need to stand firm. Standing firm is not only about digging in, it's also about moving forward. It's about going into the enemy's territory for a strong position of victory and taking back grounds he sought to steal from us. Are we ready to go in and take back what's been stolen from us? A lot of times, we got to trace back. You've been moving forward, you've been going after some things, but then there's some things that you missed on your journey, things that can make you better for the next journey ahead. You got to go back and ask for forgiveness from that person that you keep dealing with. Well, sometimes when things constantly come up in your mind, situations, people, you have to go back and apologize. You got to go back and make amends, or even more so, go back and pray. Did you stop to pray for them people that you constantly thinking about? If someone is constantly running through your mind, are you praying for them? There is a reason why you are thinking about them. You be like, why do I always think about that person? Because you need to be praying for them. I bet if you start praying for them, you'll get peace about it. There's a particular person in my life I need to be praying more for. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't, because I be irritated. And God is saying, okay, as I'm talking to y'all, God's telling me, right, you need to pray for them. You telling them, but tell yourself to pray for them. So I will be doing that. I'll be obedient and make sure that I do that. Okay. So she says that being powerful enough to tear down and demolish and take back. We need to be tearing down, demolishing, and taking back. They can go into territories where your life and current circumstances will be difficult to go under. Okay. So I didn't read that right. Let me go back and read it. She says they can go into territories of your life that may currently be under the enemy's influence and take it back in Jesus' name. Okay, so situations that you went through in your past, situations where you feel like if I circle back and talk to that person, I'm going to feel some kind of way. You may not need to circle back and talk to that person, but what you might need to do is circle back in your mind and make amends to yourself, okay? And forgive yourself. Process that. We talked a little bit about meditation and what that means and what the benefits are when you do that. But in your mind, when you're praying, when you're talking to God, that's a time where you can kind of go back in your mind over some things that you've done. And Lord, what lessons did I learn about that situation? Forgive me, I just washed my face real good, so I'm a little shiny today. Put some vitamin C on my face. But what did I learn from that experience? And so going back in your mind and taking back and making sure that the enemy doesn't reign over that, things that have happened in your life, you can go back and take those things back. Situations that you weren't even a part of, any trauma that you've experienced, you can go take those things back. I will not have to go back in my mind every time something comes up. That doesn't have to be a PTSD moment for me. I don't have to constantly be afraid or fearful, so those are things you can do when it comes to taking things back in Jesus' name. All right. So I like how she says we're going to go onward. And so going onward means that, she says we begin to see the supernatural effects of the gospel when strongholds are demolished in our lives. We get to taste our true freedom as a result of being the gratitude that overflows in our actions. So when we're taking things back, we're saying this happened to me. The thing did happen, but it will not take hold of me. I won't have strongholds. if you are married, if you're thinking about your ex, that's a stronghold, and you don't even need to be thinking about nobody if you married. So you have to have, I was listening to a prayer about that, listen to a talk about that, and that came up. And you have to specifically pray against that, for God to disconnect you from that person. Those soul ties are real. People, if you got a lot of bodies attached to you because of your past, you've got to, if those people come up and your body kind of, that, oh girl, when I think about that song and I think about that moment, oh honey, men, y'all know it may not be a song or anything like that, but what triggers you to think about somebody you don't need to be thinking about. So whatever that is, you're going to have to ask God to release your tie to that person. So those are things we can do. Okay, so she says that peace intimidates the enemy. So when we're putting on our shoes of peace, know that that's because the enemy wants us to be distracted. He wants us to be in foolishness, constantly thinking about all the stuff that we don't need to be thinking about. So that's what the enemy wants. So I don't like how anyway. So peace intimidates our enemy. He knows we're coming when we're all marching in unity with peace shoes securely in place. The sound will serve him notice that we are ready at our post. We're standing our ground and we're fearless, advancing against the enemy. I'm sorry, advancing against his kingdom, the enemy's kingdom. We stomping behind it. We stomping on the devil. So we need to be walking in the shoes of peace and knowing the benefits of that. All right, y'all, everybody, thank you for watching and liking and sharing. Talk to you all soon.